Hey, welcome back to another show. I'm Jeff Lobb. Real good topic today. Came up at one of our conferences. One thing we talk about a lot in the world of creating an experience for our customer. We all talk about it. We're in this experience business. It's like rare that I see people really doing it well. So the term I want to talk about today is experiential marketing. It's hard to say sometimes. Experiential marketing. It's kind of how do you market yourself? How do you shape your brand, your image? And if you're a real estate agent, you are the brand. You're the brand within a brand. How do you shape that to really create that experience? So a lot of people think it comes down to just like stuff of like, what do I send, or how do I do follow-up, or I sent them a thank you. And while a lot of that matters, it really does, especially that, that handwritten note. I think we've gone back to where very personalized things matter. I want you to think of it this way. What's something unique to that individual? And I'll give you some examples in some of our clients, and I'm going to give you some that actually have been shared with me personally. So I'll give you an example. If I knew that I was going to visit an office, and maybe I'm a loan officer, but maybe I'm in the real estate business, and I was going to visit a client's office or go meet somebody, if I knew they liked, coffee and donuts, right? Simple as that. Let's just keep it simple. And I'm not talking to go be a donut dolly here, but I'm saying if I knew they were into like some foods, and I just brought coffee and donuts. Coffee, generically, donuts, all flavors. That's cool. However, what if I really knew that person, because I've been on her Facebook page, and I really know she likes something specific. Like if you knew me and what I drink, like I'm a Dunkachino kind of guy with cream. Simple, right? Like what kind of, so Bill, what are you? You're a cappuccino guy? Straight up, hard?
Cappuccino, espresso.
So Bill over here, cappuccino, espresso, like straight up, like that's what he likes. So I know him personally, right? So here, I'm a Dunkin' guy. Now I'll drink other stuff. I'll drink Starbucks. But if you knew I liked that little mocha flavor and you brought it my way, and I'll tell you what, if you brought it with a straw, now I know you're paying attention to me. Now that sounds like crazy, but this means way different than you just bringing me like a box of Joe and some donuts and some bagels and going, here you go. Like you thought you did the cool thing, and it is good, but this thing, not saying this is experiential marketing, but this is that personal thing that I know you. How do you know them? We've had people doing some amazing things where we go look on their Facebook page, right? And we notice that the wall, here's a good example. We noticed that the wall they have on their Facebook wall was a really cool, like very personal saying, if you will. So a client of ours, we went online and found that exact personal saying on Etsy. And it was done with either a cup holder, like a nice sleeve, or a couple mugs. And we had that personal saying. Now, we didn't even know what it meant to that person, but it meant something enough for her to put on her social wall. And we had that Etsy done, delivered. It might have been like $7, $8, $12, but very personalized. The response and the reaction of caring that we paid attention to that mattered so much. So when we're dealing with clients and doing that thank you thing, I'll share a couple that happened with me. I got a few here, some of which we may have already eaten the goods, so I'll share with you the ones I do have. So here's a good example. Peel it up here. This is from our dear friend, Glenda Baker. Glenda with 2 N's. Let me see if I have all of, I got it right here. Here she is. I got more stuff down here. So Glenda Baker, Berkshire Hathaway down in the Georgia market, Georgia properties. Here's her little card. Now this came with, I'm going to give you the description, a box. Now she knows I have 6 children. She knows we like some goodies. So rather than just getting me stuff, she took the time. Not only does she have her branding together, she's got the ribbons done to her brand elegantly. She had this box of mini, let's call them cupcakes, little tiny things. And it's done by a company, by the way. I'll plug the company because I did check them out. They're fantastic for corporate gifts and stuff. It's Melissa. I think it's Baked by Melissa. Baked by Melissa. Selfish plug there for her. But it was a great box. It was about this size. It came wrapped and personalized. The note personalized to me. The note personalized to whether it was my birthday or something grateful for or something we handed a referral to or something we did that got her attention that allowed her to do this. So it came to me personally. It was something very specific to me for my kids and our family to have. And she knew some of the flavors I liked, which were kind of like peanut butter and chocolate. So kind of hit it spot on. It wasn't just randomness, right? So that was very personal and it meant something. Secondly, I did a webinar session. did a small event, did a podcast with some friends of ours by a company called Next Home. Imran and the team had some fun on a podcast. It's on Apple iTunes. You can definitely check it out. Definitely a deep dive into my career, some successes, some failures, as well as some things to help improve your business. I'll plug that at the end of this video. We'll put it down below. So I spent time with their marketing team, with their officers doing this webinar, doing this podcast, spending time with them a little bit. And we really clicked and got along very well. Content was very good. 2 weeks later, I come home to my office from travel. There's a box sitting on my desk. And of course, if I didn't order something from Amazon, which is usually the case, this was a surprise. And what did I get? They took one of my profile photos, definitely a few years older because it didn't have gray hair for sure, but they did an awesome job. And they sent me a very personalized cartoon character with their brand, which is their puppy and their dog, into the Next Home brand. If you look at Next Home, that is their main icon as a branding play, and had this done for me personally, which will be hanging up on my wall. Now, could they have sent me something just fun and generic? First of all, no one has to send me anything. They don't have to send me, I don't expect anything. Sometimes a thank you goes a long way, but the little personalized things helps create that experience, right? So now, when things happen, like for example, let's go back to our friend Glenda in the Georgia market. I think she's right in the outskirts of Atlanta. If there's a referral or someone I know that's doing anything in that area, hands down, who do you think is going to get a phone call, right? It's not because I have to give it to her. It's because I want to. See, that's the big difference. When you create that experiential marketing, the people that know that mean something, here's what happens. You create an emotional connection. Everything that this has, all the stuff I pulled out from under here, was all about an emotional connection to me. Had nothing to do with the value of the business, the cost of the business, or any of that. It was something that they took the time for. So in return, my emotional me wants me to return that favor, deliver more value to them for that same reason. So I think a lot of us like to talk about this experience stuff. I'm just going to keep this fairly short. You need to make sure something very personal matters. You've got all the tools in the world. They're social, they're online, they're Instagram, they're LinkedIn. A phone call to their assistant or a phone call to their team to find out something specific about them. And you take the time and look, if you can't do it all, have someone help you do this to make something very personalized. Now, I want you to think about this. What we just talked about right here, how do you feel about some of your past clients that you've done business with? You've sold them a home. It's 5 years later. It's 3 years later. What kind of experience do they have now? How are they feeling about you now? And I'm saying that looking you straight in the eye through this camera. How do they feel about you right now? Have you done anything besides digital marketing, digital stuff, a postcard here and there? Has there been anything experiential in your marketing to them? So we get upset, and I used to. We get upset that 7 years later, you sold them a home, beautiful home. They grew their family, ready to move out. I drive by the house, you drive by the house, and there's another sign in the ground for sale, and it's not yours. It's someone else's. So we all want this referral base. We all want this business to come back to us. And yet we rely on digital content and that kind of digital marketing and all that stuff we send to be human. So I want to end with this. There's no digital content in the world that could replace human. And that human is an experiential experience, like something real. So think about your past clients and what could you do for them that gives them that feeling back, gives them that like and trust back to know not just who you are, but what you're all about. So let's work on that for this upcoming year. Think about it seriously. If you want that referral business, it's going to take getting their emotions back on track to where they were the day you closed the house. All right? Experiential marketing, execute it. Let's use it. See you in the next show.